The last thing I want to talk about before you get to those instructional videos are the 3 types of movements you'll see in this section. They are strength or stability movements, separation movements, and sequence movements. Strength or stability movements are, by nature, exercises that challenge your ability to produce tension statically in key positions of rotational movements that you will ultimately perform dynamically. To try to keep it simple, I want you to build a lot of tension at the starting line. I want you to be able to build a lot of tension and feel the teamwork at the finish line. And if you do this with your clients, you're going to find that it teaches them to start more intentionally and to move into the finish line more purposefully. For example, you can start by using something like a Pallof press, which just wakes up tension in all of the teammates. You start in an athletic stance, strong grip, and as you press your arms out away from your body, it gets harder on your core, it gets harder on your grip, and you got to demonstrate that you can produce enough tension to control all of the teammates. This is what we'll call the starting line. You can also take your clients to the finish line. If I want to do something like a horizontal chopper twist that's focused on separation, moving or turning my upper body and keeping my lower body straight ahead, this is the finish line. Instead of twisting there, which can be difficult, we can press out and hold and really clean up all of the teammates while we hold. If you put your clients to that isometric torture at the starting line and finish line, what I think you'll find, I'm confident, is that they will move from A to B now more intentionally with more purpose, understanding the intensity it takes to start and the teamwork, what they should feel at the finish line. And isometrics at the finish line are also valuable when there's a lot going on, like during a dynamic rotational press where things can get kind of loose at the finish line, and you want to feel those ingredients that we talked about in the last section. Head stays still, rib cage stays back, pelvis gets tucked underneath, active glute on this trail leg. Abs and glutes working together. Hold, hold, hold. Slow back into bench press position. Press out, connect the glutes, abs, and head position, and hold. So you can use isometrics to teach the teamwork at the finish line. Those are strength or stability exercises. Next are separation movements. And I've been showing you a lot of twisting or turning exercises. We need to be able to separate or disassociate our shoulders from our lower body. That means turn our shoulders more than our hips. We also need to tilt through our spine or through our shoulders. We need to be able to tilt this line of our shoulders relative to the line of our pockets. And one way to do that is with vertical or diagonal chops. So moving from high to low or low to high, chopping down and across or up and across. And what might be hard to see from this camera angle is that when I chop down and across, I'm not just turning my shoulders, but I'm taking this trail shoulder from high to low. So in the same direction as the cable is traveling, I'm matching it or following it with this shoulder. And hopefully you can see that I'm combining now tilt with turn to get there. And I'm working on that coupled teamwork through the spine. So don't just twist, tilt, or chop on a diagonal as well. Last type of exercise are sequence movements. And I want you to think of these as building the body, building the body's rotational movement instincts like a whip, getting the handle of the whip moving before the tip of the whip. So for something like a rotational press, I'm going to start in bench press position. I'm going to stay in bench press position as I pivot my body, and I'm going to press out when it's time to do so. I'm not going to press late. I'm not going to press early and just use my arms. Body, 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 arms. And this should be a powerful kind of movement lesson for your general population clients, recreational, rotational athletes, how more effective it is to use the bigger segments, because what they'll do, what you can tell them, is to make the weight light for the arms by kind of cheating using the body. Get that weight stack moving, and they'll feel how light they can make heavier weight that they couldn't just use with their upper body. Strength or stability movements, separation movements, and sequence movements. Hopefully that gives you some clarity to understand all the exercises you see in this section and to progress purposefully through those exercises.